So good evening, everybody. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. My name's Louise Church and I'm the delivery lead for admissions, and part of my role is to, with a great team behind me, is to process and allocate the school places in our grammar schools. I've got some slides for you this evening, and hopefully they'll be of use to you. What I'd like to do this evening is provide an overview of some helpful information, have an opportunity for some of you to ask some questions. Now, due to the volume of families joining us this evening, it won't be possible, we think, to answer all your questions, but any questions that aren't answered that are not answered this evening and the information is not on our website, we will make sure that information is on our website. Just as a reminder as well, that due to the volume of people with us this evening, we won't be able to go into any personal details, and that's for a number of reasons. A, to safeguard your information, but also we're going to publish this on the website, so that's the reason behind that. So I've already mentioned my name, and I'm very kindly joined this evening by some of my brilliant colleagues. I've got Catherine Carey, who's my admissions specialist, and I've got Kate Aston, who's our lead for our grammar schools. I don't want to just give a wave. We also have our team leads, Polly and Scott, and a wonderful team of admission officers who are all equally amazing. So I thought we'd start off with our grammar schools. We have 6 schools that have grammar school places, and I've helpfully linked their websites on this page and their locations, and also whether or not they're boys and girls or boys and girls. Ashlawn is a normal comprehensive secondary school, but it does have a grammar school class in there as well, which is why we've got them on there. So for those of you that don't work in admissions, we have every year a published admission number, or PAN, and I've hopefully popped that information on the website. So that's the number of school places that are available every academic year. So these are the places that are going to be available for your children when they start secondary school in 2024. Make sure I got that right then. So just to give some background to our grammar school places, as mentioned, we've got 6 educational settings within Warwickshire, and total places within those schools is 658.
Sorry, Lou, the slides aren't moving forward.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's gone on there. Bear with me. They just all got lost now. Bear with me. I'm just going to, I don't know what went on there. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's just that we didn't move to the pan slide.
Right, okay. Sorry about that. Let me just share that again. I don't know what went on there. So if you just let me know when they turn up.
Okay, we're on slide 1.
Okay. So that was just an overview of what we're going to talk about today. That's our staff in admissions. This is the links to all of our grammar schools. This is the number of school places that are going to be available when children start secondary school in 2024. And in terms of the headlines, we have 658 places for secondary 2024. For 2023, when I wrote this presentation, we had just over 2,700 children apply for those similar number of places in 2023. And for context, we have families apply from all over the country, including obviously Warwickshire, Worcestershire, Walsall, to name but a few. There's two things we'd like to really remember to take away from today. And for all families interested in our grammar schools, your children will need to sit the 11+ test, and you can register for that now. The closing date for registering is the 30th of June. So you can do that all online, and I'll share the link later. Now,
you're on mute, Lou.
You went on mute.
Okay, so the two things to take away from today is you'll need to register for the test, and you'll also need to apply for a school place. So if you can just remember to do both of those things, if you would like one of our grammar school places, it's really important to remember you've got to register for the test and register for a school place. So applying for a school place is through your home authority, wherever you pay your council tax to. And we've got some more information later. Don't worry, I'm not here to talk all today. I can already feel I'm losing my voice. Just some important information. Our grammar schools are, we do, oh, I don't know, somebody's turning that off. I don't know if anybody's touching the slides, if you wouldn't mind not touching them, just so that I can share them with everybody. That'd be brilliant. Elizabeth, I'll share your thoughts on turning off the pings. Unfortunately, no, but I think hopefully they're going to die down now. Okay. Obviously, we've just got people joining us late, and I'm trying not to be distracted by it. So our grammar school places are allocated in accordance with the admissions code, which was updated back in 2021. All our schools comply with this code along with our authority, and whilst all of our schools are their own admission authorities, we do arrange for their school places. Every grammar school has their own separate admission arrangements, and we really recommend that you are, make yourself aware of that admission arrangement. We've just given you a reminder here because we get a lot of questions about priority areas, and the other important thing is that within admission arrangements, we only can use the criteria as set out within that admission arrangement. We can't take into account personal information. In terms of priority areas, because we get a lot of questions about it, I've just put a link in the in this PowerPoint presentation, and I will put this on our website as well. It's not likely to be on there till next week, but we will put this PowerPoint presentation along with this webinar on our website. So I've just put a link to the website and the map, which is interactive, so you can search for your home address. Thanks for the thumbs up. In terms of the test itself, I've just put a little bit of information on here just to talk about what that test looks like, and also on our website we've got a guide on there that you may wish to have a look at. We've got a lot of information on our website, and we really recommend, if you have any questions or anything that you want to know, always go there first, because 9 times out of 10, we've probably got the answer. Well, 9.9 times out of 10, if I can say that, we'll already have the information on there ready for you. We've got this guide on our website, and it just talks about some key dates. So it's really useful, because for your application to be considered on time, we will need you, for example, to make sure that you've registered for the test, that your child can come to one of our days. We've got the dates already there for you. we need you to apply on time, we need you to provide proof of address, and all of these dates are very helpfully on our website, and as a reminder they're here as well.
Can I just say as well that when you apply for the test, there is a drop-down section where you can put a preference in for the venue. That is only a preference. It's not guaranteed that that is where you would be sitting the exam. It's just that we're giving you the opportunity this year to tell us where you would prefer to sit. And you will be notified in the invitation letter the venue, the day, and whether it's an AM or PM test, and you will only receive that in August. The preferences that you're putting in now are literally for us to be able to consider that, not that it is the venue that you will be tested at. So please make sure that you cross-check your letter when you get it in August.
Thanks, Catherine. Really appreciate that. Okay, I've done quite a lot of these webinars with for admissions, and I must admit I've never felt so nervous as I have for this one, so I really appreciate that, Catherine. As mentioned before, here's the link for registering for the test. We've already had over 200 and I can't remember how many I said now, 230 people registered for that test, so that's all going really well. And if anybody does need any help, then we've also got our phone number and email address on here as well for you. So the only people we think that can't apply will be for any families where their children are not being educated in their year group. Other than that, regardless of where you live in the world or the country, everybody else will be able to apply on time, and that's just due to us linking to dates of birth. It's no other reason.
Can I just say as well that I think our website is down at the moment, given the amount of traffic that has suddenly surged through it. Okay. So if you're trying to search for grammar or 11+ test on our website currently,
we've blown it up.
We've blown it up. So it's not a first come first serve thing. So please bear with us. But the traffic flowing through it now has just crashed it. Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's I'm just having a quick. It's working for me, so hopefully they've sorted it out. But yeah, if we can have your full and divided attention for now, hopefully we can answer most of the questions today. So I'd like just to talk about the three outcomes from your children sitting the 11+ test, and I will go into more details. The first thing is the automatic qualifying score, or now referred to as AQS, the waiting list score, or sadly, we will have children that are not of academic standard. So the scores are determined by the grammar schools themselves, and the automatic qualifying score will be slightly different, or possibly slightly different for every school. They take into consideration all of the tests that have been sat by children and all of those scores, and obviously we don't know what that score is yet until all of your children have sat that test. If your child has achieved the automatic qualifying score, they will be, and you've applied on time, they will be considered for a place. However, it doesn't mean that you'll actually get a place, but they will be considered for a place at one of our grammar schools. The waiting list score, unfortunately, your children won't be considered for a place up to National Offer Day. They will be added to the waiting list after National Offer Day. Again, it doesn't offer a guarantee of a school place, and I think for 2023 we haven't reached any children on this waiting list yet, but it doesn't mean that it won't happen. But just hopefully to offer some manage some of your expectations. And then very sadly, for any children that are considered not of an academic standard, unfortunately your children won't be considered for a place, and unfortunately their applications will be withdrawn from the process. So you know, we would always recommend that any families that are considering grammar schools to also think about non-grammar schools as well. So in terms of proof of address, we thought it might be useful to give you some information now. You've got plenty of time, obviously, before that would be due. And we ask for one proof of address for the parent or the carer. We ask for one proof of address for your child. And we ask that you make sure that proof of address is in line with the admission arrangements. And we'll ask for it at the end of this year, and the deadline for you to hand that in will be the 30th of December. So hopefully, very helpfully, we've included some examples of what that proof of address can look like. And here's some examples for children and some examples for us as parents, carers. I promise I haven't got too much left to say now, and then it will be over to you. So we recognise that A, having children and B, children going to school, you know, can be a costly business, and we thought we'd just remind you of the benefits for any children that are eligible for free school meals. So we've just included a link on this presentation for you. And equally, you know, for any family, regardless of whether it's you know, grammar schools or not, we have a really, really excellent family information service, and they have lots of support, financial support, emotional support. They can signpost you to other organisations, and you know, for anyone that needs anything, you know, they really are a good service for you to consider. Excuse me. Just got to move along. So here's a link again to our website, which is working for me, but if it's not working for any of you, we're really sorry. I guess we've just had an avalanche of people accessing it, but here's a link for it for you anyway, and I've just included a screenshot of what that looks like. And you'll be very, very glad to hear that is the presentation over. So I hope that was of use for you all, and I'm going to ask my wonderful colleagues Kate and Catherine if we've got any questions we can hopefully answer.
So one of the questions that's just come up is about SEN children.
Okay.
There is a form that you need to complete alongside your entry request, which is on our website, which will, on that form, you provide the additional information for your child and to request any access arrangements that would be necessary. And that then goes to a panel. The panel will review the information that you've sent. So please make sure that you put everything in there that you would want us to consider for your child. And then once that has been considered, we will then get in touch with you to let you know what the panel has decided as to what those access arrangements will be. So I hope that answers that question, but you will need to complete the access arrangements form, which is also on the website, and send that in to the 11+ email address, where we will collate all the information to take to panel.
Any more questions?
Oh,
I've got one.
Great effort, Louise and team. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's it takes nerves to address 400 people, no doubt. Could you confirm, please? No problem. Could you please confirm that why do we need to select the schools as we fill in the application for the entrance test?
Yeah, okay. So we thought, so one of the things that we do is we when you're registering, when your children sit their test, we allocate a venue for them to sit that test, and we thought it'd be really helpful to ask you as families, where would you prefer for your children to sit that test? So rather than us trying to make assumptions, we've actually said, you know, come on, you tell us, where would you, because all of our grammar schools, they will be the venues for the 11+ test. And we thought, you know, we can't guarantee that you'll get the venue that you want, but we will try our damnedest to secure that venue for you.
So when you're on that page, there is not a drop down for you to select.
Yeah.
It is only the grammar schools that you can, and if you start typing your grammar school in, it will then populate, but it is also in there by whether it's a mixed school, whether it's boys only or girls only. So there are things that will prohibit the choice, but you do have to start typing one of the grammar schools before you can it's not a drop down box. So as I say, it's going to be either Ulster Grammar or Kes or Stratford Girls Grammar or Rugby High or Ashlawn, and there's one more that I haven't said out loud, Lawrence Sheriff. So it'll be one of those schools. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. So it does not really mean that I'm applying on the.
No.
Oh, no.
It's not the application process. The application process will only start in September. This is just you letting us know that would be your preference of a venue to sit the test. That's all it is.
That's magic. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, and we noted that might cause some confusion, so we're just getting the website updated at the moment. As with the love of anything, it just takes that little bit of time, but obviously you guys have all got the head start. But yeah, so that's just about where you would like your children to sit the 11+ test itself.
One of the other questions that's in the chat is about sharing scores. So we do share scores. If you click the box to say you want to share your test score, you will now be able to share with Birmingham and also a new consortia which is called the West Midlands Consortia, who have joined with us and Birmingham.
You remember all the areas, Catherine?
No, but it's Walsall. Yeah. I can't remember the rest.
Oh, hold on, I'm just. Oh,
so Wolverhampton, Shropshire.
Oh, she got it.
Telford. Yeah. So did quite well there.
Warwickshire, Birmingham, Walsall, Wolverhampton, Shropshire.
Yeah. So by ticking that box, we will share the score with those counties, because the test is exactly the same test sat on the same day. So we will now share the scores if you tick that box. If you don't tick that box, you are not giving us permission to share, which means that we will not share. So should you then want to apply for a Birmingham grammar school and you haven't ticked that box, we won't have provided them with the score for you to be considered. Okay.
Any more questions? How are we doing for questions? Have we got lots?
So we do have to, the next one of the questions that's come up is, do we find out if our child has achieved the qualifying score before we have to apply for their school place in October? The answer to that is yes. You will normally find out around the 16th of October, and the deadline for applying is the 31st of October. I would strongly suggest that at that point you look at the previous year's qualifying scores to make a judgment on whether you think your child would be part of that cohort. You will not know what the qualifying scores are until the 1st of March. So you will get no information from the county council or the schools based on what the qualifying score for your cohort is, but you can have a look at previous years to understand where you would have fitted in those previous years.
And we have lots of information on our website here, so that's all the information that we've referred to today. I don't know if you can see that, everybody. So we've got, yeah, there's lots of things on there.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Hi.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much for this webinar. And I just want to have a quick question. In case if you are moving the house by that is within the 6 months of span of the deadline, where we have to produce the proof of address.
Yes.
So is that be considered even if it is 3 months, like, or 1 month prior to the moving of house, or it should be 6 months?
Oh, so the proof of address we need to have. Remind me, Kate, what's the deadline for that?
Yeah, it has to be the child's current permanent residence, not where you're moving to.
Okay, so then she will not be able to apply for the other schools which are not under the priority area.
You can still apply, but what you would have to do is, once you have moved and it's the permanent residence and you can provide the proof, then you would send that to us and we would then update the records and any waitlist positions, etc. from there.
So ideally before the 30th of December. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will only accept proof of address for moving up to the 30th of December. So if you move on the 3rd of January, we are not able to accept that proof. But
as on time,
as on time, it would then be counted after National Offer Day. And I would like to just point out that we are very strict about proof of address and the timings that we receive it, because it is a requirement set by the grammar schools. So the grammar schools do monitor that and do ensure that we have received both items of proof of address for the children before any offers are made. So please make sure that you have something. That's why we're trying to highlight it now, because it gives you lots and lots of time to make sure that you've got something that is in your child's name, because that is often the stumbling block for parents, is not having something in their child's name.
Yeah, or it can be expensive, because you know, we this year we've had lots of families that have got letters from their GP, which is brilliant. We accept that, but they've had to pay quite a bit of money, and obviously we don't want anybody to experience, you know, to have to pay for things if you've got all this time now.
Can I just say as well that there's a lot of questions coming in about the qualifying scores. All of that information is on the website, so if you go onto our website, all of that's there.
Could I just ask one question? In terms of the actual test, is it a paper test or is it an online computer test?
Paper.
Paper. Okay. And also, do you have is there access to past papers?
No, come on.
We have some familiarisation.
I don't know.
On our website, but other than that, past papers are not via us. No.
No, and we wouldn't recommend we wouldn't recommend you spending any money on anything like that. We know that there's quite an industry around this. We've got lots of things online for free, you know. But what we don't want is anybody to, you know, to have to pay for things unnecessarily. We've got lots of information, and I think it's called, I can't say it, I tried to say it earlier.
Familiarisation guide.
Thank you. We've got this here online, you know, on there already. So, you know, just go and have a look at that. And, you know, there are, if you do want to pay for anything, I know WH Smiths have, you know, some fairly cheap books and things that you can potentially purchase, but yeah, try not to, you know, we don't want to encourage anyone to have to pay out things unnecessarily.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I just ask one as well? Sorry.
Okay.
Mine was just about the aptitude test. Hello.
I'm not sure what you mean by the aptitude test. Have you put the note in the
I'll just explain. So with Ashlawn, we're 2 roads away from their priority circle, and because we're 2 roads out of the priority circle, my son has to do an aptitude test. I just wondered why that is.
That's designated by the school. It's not a county council.
I know, but they don't know the answer, so I asked them and they said it's set by the council.
Aptitude test.
We don't set an aptitude test. The only test that we set is for is the 11+ test. There's no additional test as far as we're concerned. It is just the 11+ test.
So
and all children have to sit. But if you want a grammar school place at Ashlawn, you have to sit the 11+ test. If you just want a normal stream place, you don't.
if you're out of the priority circle, which is set by the council, is what they said, you have to sit an aptitude test in addition to the 11 plus.
No, we don't set an aptitude test. They only sit the 11 plus.
We can have a look at that. It's not anything we've ever been made aware of. We can have a look at that. If we've missed anything, we'll make sure it's on our website. But I think there might be a bit of cross wires, but that we definitely would never ask for an aptitude test.
There's no second testing.
No. I mean, we do there is testing for children that haven't sat the 11 plus test and want school places post secondary, but that's still an 11 plus 11 test plus. Per se.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what we're talking about here, are we?
Can I ask a question, please?
Of course.
Of course.
I can't find the link to register for the 11 plus. I'm looking on your website and I can't see where I need to go.
I've popped it in the chat. I can redo it.
Yeah, it's here. I can do it as well because I've got it online. I don't know if you can see my screen. Oh, who's going to get there first, Kate? Beat ya. Beat ya. There you go. I feel like I've done something useful. So it's in the chat for you there, but it is on our website. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at.
Thank
Hi,
you.
can I ask a question, please?
There's links. Do you mind if I ask a question, please? So my child is one of the younger in the class, and so I understand that the qualifying score will factor in his age. Can you provide a little bit more detail about what that looks like, or can you share, even privately, kind of what that was over the last kind of couple of years? So, for example, if a child has a date of birth, let's say the 30th of July, versus a child who's, the 1st of September, what's that differential? So what's the delta between those ages in terms of qualifying score?
Okay, so the qualifying score is the same, and no matter what the age band, but there is a standardisation that takes place based on their date of birth, and that's all done at the marking point by GL. So all the information goes off with the form to the test provider. They do the standardisation and then provide us that back.
Understood. Do we have any details about that standardisation, or is that all done in-house and therefore it can't be shared with parents?
It's all done in-house, so it's not shared with parents.
Understood. Thank you.
Could I ask a question,
I
need to
ask
a question
about the
I've got two people.
Yeah. I think can the gentleman go first because he was trying to ask just before.
Yeah, sorry, I've had all sorts of technical difficulties. I've been
same. We have two.
Yeah. So anyway, so the question is, so I live outside of Warwickshire, so I'm in Solihull is my home council. Can I just clarify? So I register, is it the parent portal for the 11 plus test?
Yeah.
So I think I understand what I need to do when I go in there. Well, I haven't looked yet, but
don't worry. Hopefully, fairly straightforward.
And then the school place itself through the home council. So do I need to do anything now before the 30th of June, or is that a later event?
Yeah. So just get registered for the test. And that's all you need to worry about for now. We'll contact you in August to let you know where and when your child is going to sit the test. Obviously sit the test. We'll then contact you on from the 16th of October to give you your results, and then you've got until the 1st of October to apply for school places. But hopefully you've got that little bit of time to consider, where you'd like to apply.
And so the last thing is, so then when I do that, I apply directly to Solihull Council, but mention Warwickshire schools if that's.
Yes. I don't know how many preferences you have in Solihull. In Warwickshire we have 6. You're allowed up to 6. So and obviously you can just rank them in order where you would prefer your child to go, should your child be able to be offered more than one school place.
But they have the same closure dates
irrespective. It's national deadlines. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for your patience. Do you want to get to the lady?
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Hi, it's Francesca. Good evening.
Hi, Francesca. Good evening.
Thank you. I've got a couple of questions. I'll try and be really quick because I can see there's those hands up. Can you repeat when offer date is, please?
Yeah,
1st of March.
March.
1st of March, thank you.
And that's national, so regardless of where you live in England, all of that national offer date is the same.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thank you. My next one, for the registering for the 11+ test.
Yes.
I got confused with when I have to submit the SEN information. Can I send that separately?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Fine.
absolutely.
Okay.
So it is on our website, but if it's 11+, we can put the email in the chat.
And that's on the website. Fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Don't worry, you've got plenty of time. That's what we like to open it up as soon as we can, so that families have got lots of time to get that information to us.
And my last question, when I'm applying for a school place, I recognise I've got until the 31st of October, but obviously I want to make that informed decision at the end of October.
Yes.
In that, I don't want to apply for any other but the grammar schools, but there's an alternative non-grammar school that I would consider applying for. So I can obviously do that at the same time, can't I? Because my first choice would be the grammar. Right,
yeah,
great.
So in Warwickshire, you get up to 6 preferences. You didn't mention where you live, but if it's Warwickshire, you get 6 preferences. So you can put your grammars and then put your non-grammar. Yeah. So if you don't get grammar, then hopefully if you're in catchment and bound to criteria.
Yeah,
so
nice I think we qualify for all of it, so I'm just hoping okay, thanks so much for your time, ladies.
Okay,
thank you.
good luck for your
Excuse me.
Can I just say as well, because one of the questions that's come up is that when you're choosing the venue, if it is only a boys' school, you can't choose to sit there as a girl. If it's only a girls' school, you can't choose to sit there as a boy. So that's it's the mixed schools will do both, and then the boys and girls schools will do each. That's why if you're trying to choose KES and it's a girl, you can't. Okay.
Excuse me, just want to ask one question about the entrance test because a little bit confused. Birmingham have the grammar school entrance test 11+, and also have Warwickshire have their own one. And because I live in the middle,
so they're the same test. They're the same test.
Okay, so just as long as I register either one and I click the share the information, that will be applied for both. Is it just multiple choice or something need to write in the test?
Yeah,
it's just multiple choice.
Yeah, I suggest you read the familiarisation information, and that will give you all the info on what each section of the test
okay. And also according to the priority circle, I just want to know, is it based on the distance? For example, if I live in the outside circle, but still in the circle, not the inner one, then how the pace is allocated is based on the distance or based on the score?
So you need to really, this is hopefully, I don't know if you were with us at the start. So this is why it's really important for you to familiarise yourself with the admission arrangements, because that oversubscription criteria, which is ultimately what we're going to have to use, is determined by the school and within that admission arrangement. So there'll be a number of factors, including where you live, your child's score, if there's other information that's relevant as well. So we can't give an answer here and now, but it's really important to go and have a look at the information we've got online. Honestly, we'll answer almost everything that we've talked about this evening by looking at our online information.
Okay, that's been that every school have different, is it?
Yes,
for the
all
oversubscribed.
Schools slightly will have different admission arrangements. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Could we ask a question, please?
Yes, of course.
Very, very specific, perhaps, to our situation. So, if we want to try and get entry into a year other than year 7, would you recommend sitting the test here now in September? Because I know that does get taken into consideration. I know there's an age difference between before and over 12. But I'm just thinking that should we travel to come and do the test now, or wait for an in-house sort of the time?
I mean, it's a decision that entirely has to be made by you as a family. I mean, you can sit the tests now for future years. Don't forget that all the test scores will be standardised, based on your children's age. I don't know Kate, if you've got any further, I mean, obviously it's always more difficult to get a school place outside of secondary, just because obviously now we've got those published admission number places. Any other time of year we might only have one place, you know, and there might be as rare as, you know, rocking horse teeth. But Kate, sorry.
Yeah, obviously the thing is that come September our aim is for the year groups to be full, and so following that in year it's less likely that places would be available.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry, can I just confirm we've had a question about sitting on different days and why the test is over 2 days. Just
Hello.
to be clear, your child won't be sitting the test over 2 days. They will sit on one date, and it will either be in the morning or the afternoon.
Yeah, and that's, you know, we're really keen to get all children tested across those areas that we've mentioned: Shropshire, Birmingham, Walsall, Warwickshire. I don't know if that's solid. Oh, I don't know if I've missed one. We're really keen to get all children tested at the same time, so everybody's got the same opportunity. Where, you know, probably the only exception will be is, you know, any of your children end up in hospital or something, but we don't want that to happen. So the idea is we'll get all of your children tested either the 16th or the 17th, and then again either in the morning or the afternoon. But you know the dates now. We've had that information on our website for a little while now, so you've got that information. So hopefully, you know, bar any child being ill, that they'll be the only testing available.
Louise, can I ask you another question that builds on this? Please?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely, thank you. So when I'm looking at the 4 areas and looking at each of the tests,
yes,
the maths and full verbal reasoning, etc., it's saying on the samples 50 minutes for each. So are we saying that how long is the test that your child will have to sit over a morning period? And is there any break in between the different areas of the maths and the English, etc.? Because each one I've seen is 50 minutes. So that's a lot of time sat for a child with their focus. So what does it look like?
Yeah, so it's a 3-hour. Oh, Kate, sorry,
Sorry.
I know.
No, they're two 50-minute papers, and in between there'll be a 20-minute break.
Lovely. So lovely, Kate. So the 50-minute paper, does that include there's maths and there's logical
verbal reasoning
and
and non-verbal reasoning, yeah. So first paper 50 minutes, 20-minute break, and then another 50 minutes.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello there.
Explain what the weighting is between the different parts. So is there are they all equally weighted, or is there a weighting towards English?
I can put that information. I'll put that information in the chat afterwards, rather than going into a long drawn out score information. I'll pop that in.
Hi, I just had a question quickly. With regards to maths, NVR, English NVR, so are they all equally split with the scores, or does any particular subject has more weightage of marks?
So we've got to put it on the website. Yeah. We'll put that on the website. So good question. One we obviously didn't think of, so we'll put that on the website. It might not be onto the website until the end of next week, so bear with us, but we'll make sure we'll put some information on there, so don't worry about that. We'll have that for you.
Thank you so much, Louise. On
we are planning to move house in November. Do we need to update, because currently we live in the Leicester County, do we need to update it after applying?
Yes, so let us know as soon as you move, and don't forget we've got that proof of address deadline on the 30th of December. But yeah, by all means, please, if you're moving into Warwickshire, let us know as soon as possible, just to make sure that we send any correspondence to the correct address.
And you need to be living at the property by the 30th of December with proof of address for yourself and your child at that address.
So where do I need to submit the address to the Warwickshire County or to our the one where I already submit the application form?
So we'll request the proof of address, and within that there will be an email address to send that to.
Oh, okay.
And you will need to update if you move after you have submitted your application from one local authority to the other. You will need to let both local authorities know.
Oh, okay. So before moving house, I will apply I will apply to my local authority. Am I right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
For school
once
place,
moving-
not for registering the test, but for a school place, yes.
Yeah. So once after moving house, I need to inform to both the authority. I need to update my address on both the authority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a quick
Rachel, I can
one.
see you've had your hand up for a while. Have we answered your question?
No, I just wanted to talk about some of the kind of like financial implications
Of course.
in terms of transport.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, so obviously transport is dependent on personal circumstances, which I don't want us to discuss now, if that's okay. Generally speaking, transport isn't available for free to any of our grammar schools. I mean, there might be certain circumstances, but as a general rule, however, the schools themselves, some of them do put on transport arrangements. So I believe, for example, some locations, but I don't know if that kind of answers your query, but it's worthwhile checking with the schools themselves, especially if you live outside Warwickshire.
Right.
So if you live within Warwickshire, there might be the opportunity for to buy bus passes and things like that. But I'll put a link to our transport on the website, so people might want to consider that. Oh,
can I ask whether the 50-minute paper is further broken down into 10-minute or 15-minute sections? Because I think last year
it is broken down into sections. There is a very detailed CD which goes along with the paper, which explicitly specifies what is coming up in the paper to the children.
Sorry, did you say a CD?
Yep, it's a CD. Yeah, so it plays out that each school plays to the children, so they all have exactly the same experience.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I ask another question, please? So look, I went to Sheriff kind of in the 80s and 90s. Very, very different.
To give your age away now.
I think we've lost you.
Lost me.
Sorry, no, I'm here. So it was a very different situation because the population was significantly smaller. I can see the numbers that get into Ashlawn, Sheriff and Rugby High and Rugby. I'd be quite interested to know how many children actually apply for the 11 plus, just to gauge that kind of ratio of application to place. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, I mean, last year, this current year, we had just over 2,700 register for the test and register for a place. I don't know if that's what you were after. So yeah, we do have a lot of demand. Obviously, you know, obviously we always have more people. That's why we have to use the oversubscription criteria.
Yeah.
Louise, and I think, does that number
Sorry, does that number reflect?
I was just going to ask, does that number of applicants mean that is the number of people who actually sat the test, or those who applied for the test?
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, it's very few that don't sit it that apply.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time we had anybody withdraw from not sitting the test. But yeah, no, it is a very small number. People are very invested in sitting the test and whatnot. Hence why we've had such a large volume of people this evening.
Makes sense. And so that test 2,700 is across all grammar places in entirety. So the ratio we saw was approximately 4:1 application to place. That's clearly some children who don't get you can see that that score is not high enough. Those guys just wouldn't bother applying. and that 4-to-1 ratio based on
Yeah,
scores?
I mean, I wouldn't invest any time necessarily in that. I mean, this is all individually about your children and you know, and whether or not they're offered a place. So I wouldn't invest too much time in that kind of thinking process. I think ultimately it's just having the best opportunities for your children and you know, yeah, so I'll probably personally, you know, we always have more people apply for school places in all schools in Warwickshire, not just grammar schools. You know, generally speaking, we always have, you know, at least 4 times the number of children apply for places. Then yeah, so I probably wouldn't invest too much time in that. But ultimately it's just about you and your children and trying to help you know, yeah, make it a smooth process as possible.
Makes sense. Thank you. It's just good to understand volumes. Clearly,
yeah.
You know,
No. Hence why I put that in. Hopefully, just you know, if it's something that people are really interested in and invested in, then you know, it's it is quite a competitive process, I guess. But more importantly, it is just about you and your children and you know what's best for them. But like I say.
You're on mute, Lou. You're on mute.
Sorry, every school in Warwickshire is oversubscribed generally, you know, and that's at quite a high ratio as well. So.
Hi, if your child doesn't achieve the right score, does the second choice automatically go to the first choice? So I'm in Worcestershire, so will Worcestershire County Council automatically bump them back up?
So how it works is, so in Warwickshire, I don't know if it's the same at Worcestershire, but in Warwickshire, you can have up to 6 preferences. We ask you to rank them in order. Should we be able to offer you a place at more than one school? Where it is that you're refused the place and you know, that's generally because they're full, then you go down, the system automatically goes down to the next one on the list. If that's full, they go to the next one on the list. If that's full, then the next one, so on and so forth. If you're unlucky not to get any of your preference schools, then the local authority, regardless of who that is legally obliged to offer you a school place at the nearest available school with vacancies. So you will definitely get a school place. We always recommend, you know, when we're not talking about grammar school specifically, that you apply for your catchment school. Although, again, that's not a guarantee, but, you know, it's all about making that best informed decision. So the answer is yes. If you don't get your first choice, they'll look at your second, then your third, and so on and so forth. And if you really don't get any of them, you'll get another place.
I was just thinking, if the second choice has been the first choice of too many people, I was thinking in that situation, would we then be classed after everyone else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose it's important to remember that there's the 3 types of score. There's the qualifying score, which guarantees you guarantees you consideration for a grammar school place. There's the waiting list score, which is not going to be looked at until National Offer Day, and then there's the final one where your child hasn't achieved that qualifying score. And if it is that you get that last result, then obviously, you know, you can look at non-grammars and make an informed choice. Yeah, so
Lovely.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Right, we're about done for time. I think, is there any more questions left?
Hi, good evening, Louise. It's Charan.
Okay, if we make you the last one, if that's all right, just because I feeling.
Yeah, I was just raised my hand from last 10 minutes. I thought my turn will come.
Oh, sorry. I can't see everybody on the screen.
That's fine. It's just a quick one. Can you just paste the link for the SEND thing, basically, for the special education need?
Yeah,
because I couldn't find on the website. So now, will that form need to be? Sorry, I think I was in mute or something. Can you, I don't know if... Louis, you're in mute, by the way.
I don't know who's put me on mute. I've put the link in the chat, all right.
Sorry, I missed the last part. Is it needs to be filled this form by the SENCO teacher? No. My question was whether this form needs to be filled by the primary school SENCO teacher, or will it be filled by the parents only?
This is the special children with additional needs, did you say?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
No. Have a look. I mean, fill it out as best as you see fit. It might be that you think the school is better off doing it, but I don't want to say don't ask them, and I don't want to say do ask them. Just look at your own family.
Depends on your own child's circumstances. So have a look at the form, and then you'll be able to make a decision from there.
It does say that section A of the form is by the child's parent or carer, and section B, current class teacher, head teacher, SENCO, etc.
Perfect. Thank you, Louise, and thank you, Kate.
Yeah,
thank
I'll
you.
put it in the chat. I think we're going to leave it there if everybody's all right. I'm sorry that it took a little while for us to get going. We are going to publish this on the internet. We are going to publish the slides as well. Thank you all so much for coming.
Can I have one last question, please?
If you're cheeky and quick, then yes.
Okay. Does date of birth give any priority in admission? Like if somebody is born early or in the range itself?
So you're gonna have to run that one past me again.
No, it doesn't. No, date of birth. It's the date of birth will be considered at the point where the paper is scored, but it doesn't give any priority.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you for giving such a lovely information. Thank you. Bye.
Oh no, thank you. And we're probably going to do something similar in the future. And I'm sorry we didn't get to all your questions, but we will look through all of your questions, and there's any information that's not on the website, we'll make sure it's on there. Like I say, due to people being off at the moment, it might not be for until the end of next week. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for your time.
I won't
Thank you,
be
guys.
here off most of you until the end of the summer, but good luck for all your children. And good luck for parents. I know it's not easy for us either. So take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.